I started in Poole in 1966 as a cadet nurse and had placements working in X-ray, interesting, but I made the tea a lot. A2 orthopaedic ward, scary staff nurse used to tell me off for not making beds quick enough, and the ED, or casualty department. Loved that. I learnt to suture, plaster and take out sebaceous cysts, all at the age of 17. In 1969, when Her Majesty the Queen opened the hospital, I was honoured to be in the Guard of Honour at the back of the hospital, and we all had to learn to curtsy to Her Majesty and Prince Philip as they went past. I was then in the opening ceremony in the dining room, and then we rushed round to the front of the hospital, ready for when she went off down Longfleet Road so we could all wave her off.
I started my career in Boscombe all those years ago, where we did everything manually. And now, when we moved to Poole, over quite a few years, it's changed to doing lots of things by computers, and it takes less time, but it still needs the dosimetrist to put all the stuff in and sort of sort it out.
Poole Hospital has been a fabulous place to work. I joined in September 1969 and I've had a really diverse career path. Poole Hospital's given me the opportunity to do a whole load of different roles, but I started off as a trainee medical lab technician, doing a 4-year training in 1969, and that was a very, very different world. All the tests were done manually. There was very little in the way of health and safety, in that we used to suck blood up through tubing into micropipettes, and you weren't even considered to be a trainee until you'd had a couple of mouthfuls of blood.
Sister Tidy, the Home Sister, had a flat on the ground floor, and her main aim in life was to ensure that no men ever crossed that threshold. We worked hard, but we definitely played hard too.
When the Queen came to open it, unfortunately I missed that. I was a couple of months later than that starting, but I did comment that all the houses over the road looked very, very smart, and the council painted them all so that they looked really nice for when the Queen came to open the hospital. And car parking was very, very different in those days. We had one small gravel car park where the Philip Arnold unit now exists, and that sufficed for patients, staff and visitors in those days. And
I was the first to live in the newly opened Parkstone House, or Tampax Towers as it was better known, where we had a curfew of 10 o'clock. If we wanted to be out later, we had to have a letter of consent from a parent, and we were granted one 11 p.m. pass a month.
Yeah, over the 50 years, I've seen many changes, and I'm sure there's much more to come. And I've seen lots of colleagues come and go, and thank you for putting up with me. And one of the main reasons I'm still here is I can't find my way out.
It was a very happy place and still is a very happy place to work, but just very, very different.